to another episode of What's Your Story? And who do we have with us today?
Name's James, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I work with Josh. So
All
pretty
right.
excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this is one of my favorite people, I honestly have to say. So, what we're doing today is what the premise of the whole entire channel is. What's your story? We want to bring people together from all different walks of life: rich, poor, fat, skinny, black, white, what have you. And we want to get people to open up about things that they've been through in their life, so they see that they're not alone. And they can click on our channel and they can get inspired and they can have some motivation to keep living their life, no matter how hard it is. I'm just trying to, or we're just trying to, excuse me, we're just trying to push out positivity pretty much with this channel. James knows this. We've had this idea cooking for a while, and he came to me and he wanted to share his story, his personal story. And you got the floor. Let's go ahead and let everybody know.
All right. Well, when I was, man, it's so hard to even tell it because it starts from when I was, born. I don't remember life any differently or any other way. I guess I could start from when I first started seeing, the things that I was seeing and what I was seeing. So when I was maybe 3 or 4, my mom started to see that something was a little different or a little, off, or maybe a little, unique about me compared to other kids. But she just thought maybe that I was, slow and growing up and doing other things that people were doing, just taking it at my own pace. But it soon found out that that wasn't the case. I would do a lot of things, a lot of signs when I was a kid. Like my hands would shake, or I'd flap my hands a lot, and I'd get really excited, or I'd get emotional really quick. So I had gotten taken to the doctor because my mom was like, something needs to, I got to get a diagnosis on my son for what's going on, because I have no idea, nobody's telling me anything that's going on. So she had no help from anybody. So I brought a whole stack of papers with me, and as Josh seen, he told me to bring some papers with me. He didn't expect it to be this much, but I got my first diagnosis with me from when I think it was when I was 5 years old. And it says, James is diagnosed with anxiety, ADHD, and depressive disorder. And if you know what anxiety is, you know what depressive disorder is, you know what ADHD is. That was just the start in the beginning of what was going on with me. You know what I mean? So my mom was like, yeah, but could it be autism? Could he have Aspergers syndrome? And they were like, no, he's too affectionate. He likes to give people hugs. He likes to talk to people. Get in, interact with people. And here's how I think about it now: is me and Josh are two different colors. Me and Josh are two different types of people, two different types of personality, two different type of culture, two different types of way of growing up, two different types of everything. On the spectrum of autism, there's people that are different no matter what they were diagnosed with. So even though, you know, my mom was like, why can't he be diagnosed with this? Why couldn't he be different from all the other ones, that have had this? Why does it have to be clumped up in one? So the doctors kept on dismissing it, said that's not the case. He does not have that. So my mom kept on going on, thinking, okay, he just has ADHD, anxiety. And growing up, definitely the anxiety was definitely the worst part of my childhood. You know what I mean? In class, I would have anxiety and I'd be talking to the teacher. There's many reports in my papers about me having anxiety in class. This was a writing that I did in 6th grade. It says, I'm in the 6th grade. I was struggling, and today I'm still struggling. It doesn't get easier. It gets harder and harder every day until it feels like you're about to crack. So you do, and you get sent to the office every day. I don't know why these things happen to me or why these things keep happening to me. I'm very upset. Now, I was in 6th grade writing about this stuff. Obviously there was concern, from people, what's going on. So finally, we went up to my doctor at the time. His name was Dr. Lee. Now, this has stuck with me through childhood all the way now. I'm 21 years old. This has never left my mind. And if anybody else has heard this, know that you can relate to my story on this sense. He was like, I was looking with a bunch of colleagues about this, and we think it's Asperger's syndrome, like my mother said. And he said, like my mother said, there's all different types of people, all different types of, types of autism. So we believe he has that. And then where it got a little bit crazier was he said to my mother, while I was 7 years old, he said, your son, by the time he's 13, is going to be living in a home. And he is not going to be able to do sports. He's not really going to be able to, associate or make friends with other people with the diagnosis that he has. And my mom, being a religious person that she is, said, I rebuke that and I don't believe that, because I know my son can be more than that. And in my mind, I'm hearing an adult tell a child that he's not going to be nothing and he's going to be in a home.
Yeah, super young.
Young, that's me telling a kid who has a dream about something that there's no way he's going to be able to do it. That mentally affects a kid to a whole different level. So I spend my days, and it doesn't affect me in a bad way. I spend my days proving people wrong, trying to prove myself. But anyway, back on the path of going through school with this diagnosis, I finally figured out what was going on with me. My mom went to the library, found books, and was like, this is my son, started crying. And at the school, they were putting me through a whole bunch of tests. And I have tests on me from when I was 3 years old all the way till I was 10 years old. So it said in the report that James often seems to be lonely in class and have a lot of anxiety and wishes he weren't alive anymore. And that was when I was 6 years old, hearing those things being written down. And I'm like, what was going through my mind when I was 6 years old to have that stuff happen to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have another report. Just a couple things that I went through just to really show you was James always had trouble completing tasks. The radio on, a lot of noise around him. He does not respond his name when he's called, even though his hearing is okay. James frequently responds negatively to loud, unexpected noises. Common occurrences, in autism. People with autism don't like loud noises, but it's different through a lot of people. He expresses discomfort in loud noises, going to the dentist, because that stuff freaked me out when I was a kid with all those loud noises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. The drills and everything.
The drills, yeah. Even
yeah.
adult, people now don't even like that stuff. But
yeah.